Welcome back, everyone, to this edition of Try Hard Racing with me, Roll Cage TV, where I do the best I can with what I've got, which is not a lot of talent. But one more race to do. And then the qualifier. And not going to have time to do these in yet the stream. I only got 45, 50 minutes or so in the stream. So let's get this in. This should take half an hour or something. So probably not going to finish the stream. Finish the season during this stream. Whatever I'm trying to say. I didn't have my old man nap today. Weekend streams are difficult for me. I stream in the afternoon. Need my old man nap with my old man cat. He's napping without me, and he gets upset. Oh, it's raining. Sorry about the motion blur. Maybe motion blur because of the rain. I have the resolution up as high as I can get. That doesn't help. It's the bit rate, and I can't up the bit rate anymore. On the old app, I could do it, but they rewrote this Twitch app, and they don't let me increase the bit rate higher than 6,000 kilobit per second, which means I get motion blur. Sorry about that. In 1080, it's a little bit higher. It's a little bit better. It's the same, but it doesn't look quite as bad because of the better resolution. They don't let me, if they let me do 720 at 6,000 kilobit per second, then I could have very little motion blur. It would be only 720 rather than 1080, but less motion blur, and to me it would be worth it. But where they used to just have a slider, you could set the bit rate to anything you wanted, the stream bit rate. Now with this new app, it's just a drop down. Oh, not gonna break in time. So yeah, it's just a drop down, and the highest bit rate they allow at 720 is 3,000 kilobit per second, which doesn't necessarily mean 30 frames per second. It's completely different. And but they don't let you set 6,000 in 720 because the drop down is only 3,000, and they don't let you set any higher than 6,000 in 1080. So, and 1080 is about twice the amount of pixels as 720, and so it's twice the bit rate, but also twice the pixels, so I still get the motion blur. And it won't help even when Lightstream supports 60 frames. Like I said, it'll probably just make it worse, because there'll be even more, same amount of data, but exported to YouTube is twice as many frames. It's just going to be worse. I use Lightstream for my overlays and things. And I actually have to pay a little bit for that every month. The Twitch app on Xbox, on consoles, all the consoles that count, Xbox and PlayStation, you can go through Lightstream, which is an outside service that lets you set up overlays on Streamlabs and a bunch of other places where you can set up stream overlays, and they'll integrate it into your stream. and scene shifting and stuff like that, which you can get. Which direct from console, you can't do it other ways. Need an outside service. There's no like OBS available on console. So this allows you to do all that stuff. But they don't support, right now, they don't support anything higher than 1080 30 frames. Which, even if I went to 60 frames, like I said, until the Twitch app allows me to upgrade up the bitrate on the actual stream export, it's still not going to improve the quality of the video at all. It might export to YouTube as 60 frames per second, but it's just going to look even worse. So, since it's taking it's taking you know, the stream and then recompressing it, so it doesn't look great on stream, but it looks even worse in the rain on YouTube. Motion blur. Oh well. Racing games are obviously the most effective because they have the fastest scene changing and things like that. You don't get motion blur in games where there's no motion. So like, my Civilization looks great, and my SnowRunner looks not perfect, but you know, very almost imperceptible any kind of motion blur because you're not driving that fast. But any racing games, yeah, you can tell the motion blur, and the rain makes it is the worst. Although there's sometimes through the trees, like especially in Dirt Rally, there are light colored trees. Sometimes you go to like New England. They're it's fall, so you get leaves different colors, and so you'll have trees that are green, trees that are orange, all flickering back and forth as you're driving past. So you can get motion blur from that, even if it's very noticeable motion blur, even if it's not raining. But I do the best I can with what I've got, which is not a lot of talent, and not a lot of equipment, not a lot of options, not a lot of money. I'm an old man. I'm retired. Fixed income. Have mercy on me. Oh, had I known that was going to be such a long... wreck, I would have had time to take a drink. I figured, well, I'll take a drink anyway, because I'm going to be last no matter what. The only way I'm not going to be last is if everybody, all the AI drivers get jammed up on each other. And if that happens, it won't affect my position at all. I'll still be able to pass them if they're stuck. My luck, I will. I am now anticipating that a couple of them are going to get stuck, but then they'll get unstuck just before I get to them, and I'll lose. All of them are stuck together, but they'll get unstuck just before I get to them, and I won't quite have enough time to pass them because I took that extra 30 seconds to take a drink. Probably not. I'm thinking probably not. Oh, am I going to get a penalty for that? Probably. I get penalties a lot in this game, not just for false starts. I mean, I get penalties for undercutting because I fall off the bike. And it's like, oh, well, you cut the corner. But I fell off the bike. Sorry, you cut the corner. run into a wall on the inside. Sorry, you cut the corner. But I got reset back to where I first fell off, so I actually didn't cut the corner. Oh, you get another penalty for tying back, young man. I'm not a young man. Your driver is. He gets a penalty for tying back. You get a penalty just for being bad. My entire game is penalty time. Oh, thought I could hold it. I am not going to make this in 10-minute lap, so this is almost certainly going to be the last race of the stream, last event of the stream. But then next stream, next YouTube episode, I'll do the qualifier, and I will almost certainly not make it in 20 minutes. Even if I could beat the AI, doesn't matter. Qualifier is still just as much time no matter what the AI. Which I've said before, if you watch the AI, if you watch the entire qualifier, the 1 hour session until it gets to the end, you'll see that the AI, only a couple AI drivers would have been able to qualify either, but then at the end they bump up their last lap is magically within 20 minutes, even though there was no time left for them to finish that last lap. And you're not allowed to finish your last lap. When the timer goes out, that's it. Whatever you've done to that point is done. Because they can't have a final race without enough AI drivers qualifying, right? I mean, on the weird off chance that you do qualify for the final race as a human, they're not going to let you just run the race by yourself. You are going to have 9 AI opponents. If none of them qualified, that would be embarrassing. It'd be nice at least, well, I mean, it'd be nice if they lowered the time limit to qualifier, depending on what difficulty you're playing. But you know, maybe you could watch. Maybe you could, you know, you could watch one of the AI drivers in the final race. That would be fun. You want to watch the race? You get a pop-up, you know, at the end. Do you want to watch the race? You didn't make it. Sorry, you stink. But you want to watch the race as a consolation? I mean, they just assume the answer would be no. But I might want to watch the race. I don't think in this game, if you watch a replay, I don't think in this game you can. Can you even watch the replay in this game? I don't know. I don't think you can. In games like Ride, you can watch the replay and then switch perspectives to a different driver during the replay, which is cool. I wonder what TTLMN 4 is going to be like. I'm not going to buy it. I'm going to go back to playing 2, if I'm going to play this game anymore. But, yeah, I wonder if 4 is, maybe I can find out from, like, press releases and you know, if racing game, or if game reviews weren't a scam, I might be able to get real information about whether the game is, whether version 4 would be, the difficulty would be turned back down or not. I don't know. In case you don't know, I've mentioned this many times on stream on YouTube before, but they really ramped up the difficulty level with this sequel based versus the original and Isle of Man 2. They got a new developer. Kiloton Racing was the developer, but they got a new developer now. I don't know what happened to Kiloton. Maybe they just released. Do they still write software, or they just release their engine now? But because it uses the Kiloton engine. Kiloton even exists anymore. But it uses the Kiloton engine, but it's a completely different development house, and just decided to make it a lot more difficult. And it's the same engine, physics engine, but you know, they get to decide how the AI plays it and whatever. I don't know if it's necessarily a conscious decision to make it harder. I mean, so much harder. It's a problem in video games in general that sequels are always that much harder. Even like the perfect, you know, complete, very highly praised, oh, this is so excellent, awesome game with a perfect balance of difficulty levels and whatever. Sequel comes out, gotta make it harder. Didn't we just say the last game was perfectly balanced? Gotta make it harder, sorry, it's a sequel. Gotta be harder. But the difficulty was really turned up in this version of Isle of Man 2. I would not recommend this game. Shocking though that may be to hear from somebody that's been playing this game for months and months and months and still has months to go, I would not recommend buying this game. I would recommend buying TT Isle of Man 2 if you can win every race on TT Isle of Man 2 and you don't find it realistic physics enough or whatever, then go ahead and buy the game. But even then, if you win every race in TT Isle of Man 2 and you buy this game, you're probably not going to win a lot of races in this game. Not that there aren't humans that can win races in this game. It's way harder than... You would have to find TT Isle of Man 2 trivially easy on the highest difficulty level to be able to even compete on the highest difficulty level in this game, but you could still be able to beat it on lower difficulty levels. I would finish middle of the pack in TT Isle of Man 2. And I don't think I played at the lowest difficulty level. I probably played at a pretty low one. Motorcycle racing games are tough as it is. Yeah, I can't come close to finishing any higher than last in this game. Unless the AI screws up. But I'm getting through it. I'm doing 10 seasons. There's a Super Sport class and a Superbike class. And doing 5 seasons on the Super Sport. And then another 5 seasons on the Superbike. And every season within that class, I up the upgrade level of my vehicle one. So this is season 7, which means the second Super Bike season, which means I'm racing with level 2 components. And then the highest level of components I can use is level 5, and so that's where I'll be. Because that would be, if the game hadn't screwed up and given me like 100 times the upgrade points that it's supposed to, you would, normally playing through the game, you would only be able to upgrade your bike once per season. So you start level 1, and then after season 1 you'd be able to upgrade it, fully upgrade it. You could upgrade little pieces here and there. So I want to make it similar to the experience you'd have actually playing through the game for the first time, which I did grind out a few. There's one challenge that I can do consistently, so I ground out enough to make sure that I would get enough for Season 2, have enough upgrade points. Didn't do that on stream before I started the streaming, but then it turns out that during some events, some actual career events, it suddenly gave me, seriously, like 100 times the point. Not just 10 times, but multiple tens of times the number of upgrade points that I was supposed to get. If I finish last in qualifier, I get 5 upgrade points. Supposed to get 5 upgrade points. Last in the race, supposed to get 8 upgrade points. And I got like 100 upgrade points, or hundreds of upgrade points. I haven't even looked anymore to see how many upgrade points I have. And the upgrade points do carry over from class to class, so. So if you go right to super, you don't have to go through the super sport junior class to be able to earn enough upgrade points to go through the super sport or super bike class. You can get enough upgrade points with just the super bike class. There is 2023 bikes in the actual Ironman race, 2023 drivers and bikes, races and bikes. I could do a playthrough 2023 seasons, but I'm not going to. It would be the same thing over and over again. I don't care about up-to-date stats. At least the up-to-date stats are something that you would get on a DLC, and you wouldn't have to pay for an entire new game every year. Those kind of subscription games, which effectively are subscription games I hate. And so it's not, you know, if you pay $15 or something, $20 for a season pass for upgraded stats, well, that's one thing. But if you are expected to pay $100 every year for John Madden football, when the video game is essentially the same, you're just getting upgraded teams and team rosters and stats. That's ridiculous. That's ludicrous. State Farm ad is going through my head now. Ludicrous is the artist's name, right? So somebody in the State Farm ad says, that's ludicrous. And Ludicrous comes out and says, oh, you don't need me, you need State Farm. Your sink is squirting water everywhere. Then he like sings a State Farm jingle or something. I don't know. I do watch ads. I don't have a choice but to watch ads. I mean, I don't have a choice but to have the ad on. I watch it until I can hit the skip button. And if an ad comes on that's like 60 minutes long or something, like a minute long, that doesn't have a skip button, I'm talking about on YouTube, I'll just exit and go back into my history and watch the rest of the video. I'm not gonna sit through potentially 2 minutes of ads. Although on Twitch, sorry, you don't, the pre-roll ads I can't turn off on Twitch. You first go into a Twitch stream, you're stuck with how, and it's a lot more ads than you get on YouTube. Usually it's at least a 2-minute ad break at the beginning before you can check out the stream, which is why I'll look down on my viewer count and I'll see my viewer count go up by 1 and then go back down after 2 minutes because somebody sits through an ad, has to sit through a 2-minute ad to realize they don't want to spend 2 minutes watching my stream because I stink at the game. Poor people, sorry. Maybe I should change my my handle on Twitch to I stink, no relay, don't watch, underbar TV. TV doesn't stand for television. I hate television. It's my initials. Titanium vanadium. And I got the underbar on Twitch, which I resent because somebody who used to play a game called Roll Cage decided he would call his channel Roll Cage TV because he was gonna be the TV home of the game Roll Cage, and of course that didn't last very long. And he's now not responding to any whispers. I doubt if he's even signed in to Twitch for 5 years. Doesn't have any videos on his channel anymore. Twitch is supposed to retire. They still say that they're going to retire it in there. Go on their chat. Now that was the game audio freaking out. That wasn't the stream freaking out. I used to, when I did not qualify for the final race, go into a custom race, and there's a way to say run the official race as a custom race. But the game, whatever the latest update was, it doesn't handle a race more than like an hour long, hour and a half long. After an hour and a half or so, the game audio just stops working in the middle of a race, and you can't like restart the game in the middle of a race. The game will end. This happened to me. I had a power outage, and a couple weeks back, and I was in the middle of a race, and the power cut out. I don't remember. It started the race back over again. I mean, since I was doing a custom race, it didn't matter. I could have restarted it, but I would have still. The audio would have still cut out. It happened to me 2 seasons in a row, so I stopped doing that after that. But I think that they did, when the power went out, they did not say, okay, you ran this race already, because that would really stink. Oh, this is the exact same place I wrecked before. There's a pit lane there for a different. This section is apparently shared by more than one course. And that's the pit lane for one of the other courses. And of course, there aren't like barrels in front of it or anything, because this is Isle of Man. You're not going to put padding there. A brick wall. Lock it up, dude. You don't come to Isle of Man to have padding anywhere. I mean, you know, it is on actual roads, but I have a feeling that the pit lane is not part of the public road. They don't allow, it's not like the Autobahn where they allow people to race on here. Well, actually, some sections are like that. I take that back. Some sections of the roads in Isle of Man are speed limitless. You drive at whatever speed you feel is you can handle. So if they've got that kind of culture anyway, they don't mind having a Death Race 2000 type of Isle of Man race. I don't know how many deaths there were in 2000. Interesting to look that up. Over the years, I've mentioned this before, over the years, this actual race in the actual motorcycle race in Isle of Man has had as many fatalities as they have races over the years. Although it is much safer now than it was 1900, 1905, 05, in the noughties, the 1990s. People really should say noughties or arties or O's or something. They just say the 2000s. Like, Well, in the mid 2000s, no, it's not the mid 2000s. The mid 2000s would be 2,500, and I don't think we're anywhere close to the mid 2000s yet. It's 2005 is not the mid 2000s. It's the mid 2000s, you could say. Oh no, even then it would be 2050. It's the mid 20-aughts, or the mid 20-ohs, or the mid 20-noughts, or the naughties, as I hear some people say, which I think is great. You got the 20s, the 30s, the 10s, I don't say 10s, and the naughties. Yes, obviously somebody started saying it's a joke, but it's still funny. It's funny, so it should be done. What's funny takes precedence over everything. I mean, I don't think, tripping blind people is funny, so I wouldn't do that. But there are, given the choice between a moral dilemma that's funny and a moral dilemma choice is funny and a moral dilemma choice is not funny, well, I'm going to do the funny one, of course. I mean, okay, let's take the trolley problem. Are they 10 clowns laying on the track? Well, in that case, I'm not diverting if it's 10 clowns. I mean, that would be kind of funny, right? What a way to go. If you're a clown, you're a professional clown, and you're laying on trolley tracks. I mean, that's kind of, we're all going to go someday, right? Wouldn't that be the way you would want to go out as a clown troupe? I mean, sure, none of the flying Walendas wanted to bite it, but they died doing what they love. That's the whole motto of the Isle of Man, with all the fatalities. Yeah, well, at least they died doing what they loved. They loved crashing into a wall and rolling down the hill. Oh, I would have preferred not to, but they were doing what they loved up until that point. Oh, I guess that's something. I mean, okay, if they were, in their 80s or 90s or something and, had a fatal disease and weren't going to make it anyway, then, okay, it's justified to go out in the Isle of Man. And am I going to save this? Oh, penalty points for sure on that one, baby. Got you now, turn. I knew that was going to happen. That was never. And the trolley would have to have like a really silly horn to it. As it's trying to warn the clowns off the tracks. Oh, I shouldn't find that funny, should I? If anybody's not heard of the trolley problem, go look it up. I always tell people to go look it up. And then I try to explain it anyway. Go look it up. You should know. You should know about the trolley problem. The dilemma. Do you switch tracks to run over one person, or do you let the track go and hit 10 people? Well, I mean, obviously, if you put it that way, you should probably switch tracks. But then people answer differently, whether it's, are they there with a switch to throw manually? And that's different than, are they hitting a button in a control tower locally, which is different than hitting a button in a control tower a city away? What's their proximity? And then there's one version of the trolley problem. What if you had to push a very large person off of a bridge that you knew would be heavy enough to stop the trolley before it hit the 10 people on the track? the the variations of the trolley problem are very sick and wrong, but they're so out there. Nobody would, you think you would do this or that or the other. You're not going to do this or that or the other. You're going to freeze and do nothing in a real life situation. Especially if there were 10 clowns on the track. You'd be too busy laughing. Oh my goodness, a troop of clowns are going to get up on the trolley. That's so funny. Now, maybe, if their manager was on the other track, the clowns would be like, throw the switch! He's the one that got me into this mess. He's the guy who thought it would be a good idea to, do one of those mini car clown things on a bunch of trolley tracks. 10 clowns coming out of a VW Beetle, and not a modern one, but space, like an old one, and do it with the doors locked from the outside and chained or something. I don't know what. You're not going to get 10 clowns out of a VW Beetle in the moments before with a trolley bearing down on them. I guess it'd have to be a pretty heavy trolley to really guarantee it's gonna total the VW Beetle. A VW Beetle made out of cardboard. 10 clowns in a cardboard Beetle with the doors tied shut on a trolley track with a trolley bearing down on them versus on a side course that you and only you could throw a switch and send it down a side track to divert it into the clown's manager, who's sitting on the track counting the money that he made over the stupid gag with the cardboard VW Beetle on the trolley track. Do you throw the switch? Or do you let the clowns fight it because it would be funny? I'm letting the clowns go, man. I'm sorry. All the clowns in the world. There's 10 circus clowns on the trolley tracks, and I'm the guy that's in charge of flipping the switch. I'm sorry, buddy, but you're dying what you love. You're dying doing what you love, which is making everyone laugh at your misfortune. Oh. What other famous moral dilemma problems are there besides the trolley problem? I can't think of any. That's like such a classic. Hopefully there's some other moral dilemma problems that don't involve death. That would be nice. Do you eat the last pie, or do you let the clown throw it in somebody's face? Now that's a moral dilemma. I mean, it's a really good, let's say it's like a really delicious blueberry pie. Like, they don't call them blueberries in the UK, do they? Black currants? Is that what they're called? Oh, man. It's like a French soaked pie that the clown's about to throw. If you don't eat it, the clown's going to throw it in the face of some beloved person. I don't know. Some Mother Teresa-like person, only one that wasn't actually corrupt and torturous and tormenting for her own personal benefit. Oh, wait! The sound went out! The game sound went out right there. That's as long as one race can go before the game sound went out. I was just talking about that bug. 40 minutes for one race is it. Now the game sounds are not going to come back. No, I don't hear them either. I don't hear the game sounds either. Let's see, if I hit continue, will I get any? How much penalty? 2 seconds penalty. Okay. I would have saved at least 2 seconds driving on that grass, right? 5 minutes. No, the game is completely messed up now. Well, that calls it. I would have had enough time to maybe do one qualifying lap. It would have been a bit of a longer session. Or I would have done that rain. I would have done one of these other weekly trials or something. Oh, none of them were very short, were they? Anyway, well, I guess that's gonna do it for me then. Pretty early to end the stream, but the only way to get the game sounds back is to restart the game. And I mean, I wouldn't have to end the stream to restart the game, but it's already over 40 minutes, so it's not worth it. Not worth it to me, and I'm sure it's not worth it to you unless you want to hear more clown dilemma stories. Put in the message me on YouTube or put in the comments, YouTube comments. What is your favorite clown moral dilemma? Moral dilemma that involves clowns. And not evil clowns. I mean, just innocent clowns. The kind of poor sap clowns that have to go to children's birthday parties. Ugh. Anyway. Well, that will do it. I got all the qualifiers done. The next thing to be done in this game is the actual qualifying race is done. Next thing to be done, and the last thing to be done in the season, is to do this qualifier. And if you hit the info, you need 19 minutes on a Superbike. It was 20 minutes on a Supersport. 19 minutes. You got to beat 19 minutes. If you don't beat 19 minutes, doesn't matter what the AI skill is. You see on the right there under general, you go down, you see time to beat 19 minutes just above that. AI skill seasons 30%. That's the lowest percent. Doesn't matter, still 19 minutes. If I up that to 100%, still 19 minutes. So, yeah, I tested that on Super Sport and it was 20 minutes. Can't do it, can't qualify for the last race. Doesn't matter if the AI locks up. Not going to get it done within 20 minutes. So, but I'll do the qualifier, and this is why I'm not going to do. You can do a custom race, and one of the things you can do with a custom race is if you select the full course, you can scroll over to Tourist Trophy. It mimics the actual race, the actual final race, which I used to do in lieu of the official race, but the game sounds end after a while, and if you restart, the only way to get the game sounds back is if you restart the game, which destroys the race. And then you have to rerun the race. If they even let you rerun the race. I don't even think they let you rerun the race. I think I tried that the first time it happened. But then it would just happen again. So after it's less than 2 laps it takes to lock up. Because it happens just before, yeah, the 30 minutes per, or 20 minutes per would be, I mean, with breaks and all this stuff, it's about 30 minutes a lap. So it's about 40 minutes of race time. So, not 40 minutes, like 50 minutes or something. If you're in the same race for like 50 minutes, the thing locks up. Which we just saw because the 3-lap race the game sounds crashed right then. Oh well. It stinks. Don't buy the game, folks. Buy TTL Man 2. Can't recommend this game. It's not that I can't recommend it highly enough. I can't recommend it lowly enough. I just can't recommend the game. But I'm going to keep playing it. Because I don't mind failing. And it's beautiful. If you just want to drive around the open world, It's a beautiful open world. If you just play like an open world game, do custom races, do races against your friends, that sort of thing, it's fun. But if you want to play against the AI, I mean, even custom races against the AI, you can't turn it down any lower, so you're going to lose. But, yeah. If you want to do races against your friends, then it's worth it, I suppose. Multiplayer custom event, X multiplayer modes to create a lobby, or join an existing one. Okay. So, let's say I'm going to create a lobby. Can you make it a private lobby? Beginner lobby type. Free. Yes, private. So you can make it a private lobby. So you can just race against your friends. In private, your lobby can be found by your guests only through an invite. If not private, your lobby will appear in the public search. But the question is, can you select a race without AI? I'm guessing so, because then you can say, on this map, you can say number of opponents, right? Maybe not. Free practice. Laps 1, morning, weather conditions, starting method, tell you where, time trial, no. I'm going to go through this whole thing just to see. I got some time to kill anyway. Let's go see. I did put it on private, right? Yes, private. Okay. Track selection. Sure. Rider selection. Oh, now it's going to change it on me. Okay. Create lobby. Invite player. Okay, so it's just me. There's no AI. Okay. Change event configuration. Okay. I can't say ready though until I invite somebody else. Apparently I can't just race it by myself. If I had another player to join, I'm assuming you don't have to play against the AI. But I don't know that for sure. If anyone knows, let me know. Yes, I do want to leave the lobby because you won't let me actually race against myself. See, in a custom race, I think you can say AI, no AI. Competitors, yeah, 1. So you can play by yourself, which is basically means it's a time. You're just timing yourself around the course, which makes sense. So if you want to do that, if you just want to race against the time, or you want to race against your friends, then this is a great game to do it. You want to play, just open world, beautiful open world, lots of different places to see. Not a lot of things to do. The events are also very difficult. If TT Isle of Man 2 was a smaller open world and it wasn't on the Isle of Man, but there were more interesting things you could do, more interesting challenges you can do other than just a race. So, anyway, that is going to do it for me today, folks. If you're watching on Twitch or on YouTube, if you're watching on Twitch, I'm going to see if there's someone to raid, so you might want to stick around for a second yet. If you are watching on YouTube, that is going to do it for me, and there's no one I want to raid, so I'm not going to raid anyone. So if you're watching on Twitch, I'll see you. Next Twitch stream is Sundays at, today's a Saturday. Every Saturday on Twitch, I do this, except for the first Saturday of the month. And next week's Saturday is not just first Saturday of the month, it's the first Saturday of the middle season of the month. So, middle season. It's the mid-season marathon. 12 noon to midnight, U.S. Central Time. First weekend of May, August, November, and February are when I do those mid-season marathons. And also, it's my 3rd year streaming anniversary coming up right around then. So, if you're watching on Twitch, I will see you in the next stream. If you're watching on YouTube, I'll see you in the next video. Either way, I hope you have a great afternoon, great evening, great morning, great night. Oh, I did it out of order again. Great whenever until I see you again. And wherever you end up going, on the road or in life, be sure to enjoy the drive. I am out of here, folks. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.